This is an I Dream of Words short. Today we're going to be talking about an English idiom, the ball's in your court. When the ball's in your court, it means it's your turn to do something, your responsibility to act. Let's take a look at an example. Did you talk to her yesterday? Sure, I just didn't ask her on a date. Your loss. I was just too nervous to talk about anything other than her band. She's not going to ask you, she's too shy. The ball's in your court. I've always been bad at sports. Funny, very funny. In this example, B is thinking about asking a girl on a date. They didn't do it yet, and A is telling them that it's their responsibility to ask, because she's too shy to do it. B replies with a joke about the idiom relating to sports, and A sarcastically replies that it's not, in fact, funny at all. This idiom can come from two different places, and it's difficult to know which is true. Actually, it's likely neither is really the original source. These two common assumptions are tennis and old school parties. When I say old school, though, I don't mean the 80s. I mean the Middle Ages, the time of castles and dresses the size of oak trees. First, though, rackets. In a game of tennis, when you have the ball in your court, it means that you are serving. It's up to you to determine the direction and pace of that particular play of the game. You control when it starts, and it's completely up to you where the other player has to run to return your serve. If the ball is in your court, it's your responsibility, in other words, to make the game continue. It's your turn. Turning the pages back to older times, though, a ball is an arcane word for a party. Unless you want people to look at you very strangely, I wouldn't suggest using the word anymore, unless you really are dressing up and pretending it's hundreds of years ago. The inside section of a castle or fortress is often referred to as a court. It can also mean the people there, those who are close to a ruler, often who live in the castle itself, as its high-class citizens. If the ball, the party, is in your court, it's happening in your castle, and it means it's your responsibility. If it goes well, it's up to you. If it doesn't turn out to be a good party, it's your fault. Much like in the idiom, the ball is quite literally in your court, and it's up to you to make sure people enjoy themselves. That being said, however, the original source of this expression is actually more likely to be one of a series of board games, Mandela or backgammon, plus hundreds of other similar ones from various cultures. Nearly every developed civilization over the past few thousand years has put together a game where two players have a series of stones, rocks, or balls in a collection of spaces. As you move the balls around, there is a predictable pattern. The object of the game is usually to remove all the balls from your side of the playing area and make sure they are all in the others. Many of these games call your side your court, making the reference very obvious in this idiom. Modern English-speaking countries, though, rarely have this type of game, and the reference is usually lost on people, and assumed to have something to do with sports in a vague sense. So when it's your turn to do something to make things happen around you, don't be surprised if someone reminds you that the ball's in your court. Thanks for taking the time to join me here today for an I Dream of Words short. See you next time.